2. Welcome back at WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. If you're viewing in on our YouTube and WNSTV channel and out on Facebook, and you will see that I am wrapped in purple floodlights and rope lights. Dennis Koulatsos, I went back to the 2006 disappointment in the Wayback Machine when the city was painted purple, as you remember it, for the second time. If you remember, obviously the first time was Festivus 1 back for Tampa. But in 06, we're 13-3. We had the bye week. I went out and bought about 20 sets of these purple rope lights, and they all string together, and I had them all over the condo. My place was glowing purple. Now the whole city's purple. I went and out at WNST, and I found them. So they are out. They're going to be a part of the broadcast all week. I'm going to wear them as part of my machinery here over my equipment and everything that I do. Hopefully I don't catch on fire. And this is where we are. This is what you do when you're 14-2 and you have a bye and everybody's healthy and Tom Brady's getting out of the way. It's been quite a little run here, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been wonderful, Nestor, and glad to see the team maintain momentum, resting a lot of the starters, and I got to give them a lot of credit. They came out fired up. They were intense. The crowd was also very intense. Shout out to the fans out there. It
was hardy, wasn't it? I mean, the weather really stunk.
People were singing during the timeout. I mean, it was wonderful. I captured it all on film, and I don't know about you, but I had a wonderful time.
It was not as cold as it looked. When I came home, I was soaking wet only because, I got wet on the way home. I was stupid and didn't put the bag back over myself. I mean, the bag protected me. I was at no point really wet, even though it was very wet. And, I'm pretty hardy, man. I sit out there in the front row. My wife, I put the video of my wife helping the team out on second down in the second quarter because she loses her voice every Sunday. And now there's, this sort of odd calm, right? You know what I mean? I'm flying to Miami. We're putting together trips. We've got about 400 people on our interest list already, Dennis. I'm calling these bars, and they're like, how many people do you have? And I'm like, more than 1,000 probably, and they're like, we can't accommodate you. Our bar only seats 140 people, So I'm going through these pains, but knowing that I'm fully confident that they're going to win these football games. I mean, I know there's a chance they might not as I wear my 2006 rope lights, right? But I really feel good about what they've done, about what they've built. I mean, even watching the post game on Sunday and RG3 with the game ball, it's just it's a team you want to get behind, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's a wonderful team with a lot of storylines. It seems to be a very tight team. They have a very tight locker room. They love their head coach. I mean, Brandon Williams giving Coach Harbaugh a game ball, and to me, he should be Coach of the Year. Eric DaCosta, saw him yesterday. He should be the Executive of the Year. Lamar Jackson, of course, is the MVP, right? And it was just so nice to see the backups, the second-string players, rise to the occasion. And look, it's still the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? We still get up for them, and it was a very chippy game. I thought there was some of their tactics against the RG3 in particular were very Bush League in nature. And somebody just asked, why did we throw a bomb, late in the game? I said, because they probably deserved it. How about that? It's nice to be able to sweep them and breeze into the playoffs with a bye week. How about
the whole rivalry, right, and the fact that, Harbaugh ran a fake punt from the 11-yard line, right? I mean, that just stokes all of that, and they're golfing now, and there have been plenty of years where we've had to sit and watch them play and sit and watch them have a bye week and say, when are we going to get a quarterback? When are we going to have a better team? When are we going to have the tougher team? The Steelers have been all of that. But from where the Ravens are right now and looking ahead, Dennis, We're 2 weeks out on an opponent, right? We're going to sit this weekend, and all the games are on Saturday, right? So we'll know by the time we go to bed Saturday night. Tennessee, Buffalo, seeing Kansas City down the line, right? What do you expect to happen? Where are the tea leaves in the tournament for you? Who will we be seeing 2 weeks from now?
Well, I like Tennessee. They've got a good running game going on. They figured out the quarterback situation. They're well coached. They're tough. They have some playmakers on both sides of the ball. And for me as a fan, I'd like to see different teams at our stadium this year We've already seen Houston, right? So we've seen Buffalo at Buffalo. I want to see some freshness at the stadium. I want to see the Titans, and then I want to see the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what, in the perfect world. And people are saying, well, the Titans are a hot team right now. We don't want to play them. I don't feel that way. I feel confident, not overconfident, but confident that we have the best team in the NFL. So bring them on, and to be the best, you got to beat the West. Let's play a tough Tennessee team. Let's take out the Kansas City Chiefs. Right, we owe them a beating. They've beaten Lamar Jackson twice in their stadium, so nothing better than Patrick Mahomes coming to M&T Bank. We don't want to see Tom Brady again. Not that we're afraid of Tom Brady and the Patriots, but we've disposed of them already. So let's see some freshness at M&T Bank Stadium. Some new uniforms at Nestor, some new blood. That's what I want to see.
Dennis Koulatsos joining us here from Coons Ford, Security Boulevard. He'll be here on Thursday from 3 until 5, driving you home to start off 2020. Man, the way every good year should start, with a bye weekend, and we sit and watch football and await our fate next week, and we'll see. What's going on at Coons Ford, man? I mean, 2020, is there? You still got like 18s, 19s. What happens with the cars that are left over this time of year?
Well, there's a but for every seat Nestor we have, is that saying in our business, and we're moving them out. Right now, we're just extremely busy. Ford has a ton of incentives on 18s, 19s, and even 2020s. The market's very brisk. Business is very good. And still giving up very low interest rates. 0% for 72 months is still out there. Lots of money on the hood of vehicles. And we're having busy days already. We sold the 57 vehicles over the weekend. Just on the Saturday alone, we'll be here New Year's Day celebrating, wearing our purple, clothing purple, and anybody comes in purple is certainly getting a great deal.
Well, I'm glowing purple right now, Dennis. You'll see this later on the video cam at WNST TV. But I'm wearing the purple rope lights all week long that I've dug out, and the purple flamingos on the lawn. So we're watching these games this weekend. I mean, the notion that Tom Brady might not be in the way, right? That Tom Brady might not come here, but that Mahomes might. To your point, I gave you a little Nate shout out there to beat the man. You be the man. You got to beat the man.
Yeah,
the Mahomes thing, there's something about that would make me a little nervous 2 weeks from now. Especially if they have a week off. They're sitting around watching football this week too, and instead of not just playing like they thought they were going to have to do, they got the job done. Boy, the Patriots just they pooped all in their panties on something. That is so un-Belichick, un-Brady-like to have to play this football game at home, to have to go on the road next week, after Mike Vrabel comes back up there. By the way, I saw you resharing the Mike Vrabel. I haven't heard D-Wad as an insult in a long time. I mean, that harkens back to EVT, I think. That's EVT 80s, I think.
I laughed so hard when I saw them. Like, who are you? Like, dude. Vrabel was hysterical with it. Like, who is that guy?
He's a Pittsburgh guy, Mike Vrabel.
I know. It's hysterical. I'm saying when he was saying, "Who's to the guy? Who are you?" Like, who are you supposed to be? Like, it was hysterical. But no, the Dolphins.
It was kind of like when Shannon Sharp called plexiglass.
Oh, it's hysterical. But I love the fact that in the Patriots division, the Dolphins are getting better, the Bills are better, and the Jets are getting better as well. Brian Flores is doing a great job with the Dolphins. He's going to have a bunch of draft picks. Maybe they get this kid Tua out of Alabama. That hip gets repaired in the offseason. Then the Dolphins could be a good team. I'm starting to see the shift of the balance of power in that division. It's about time. It's a good thing. Tom Brady can't play forever, but I thought it was wonderful. And I did take a peek at the Pittsburgh media this morning and their fans. They're in a complete meltdown mode. Colbert is stupid with their GM. Fired Tomlin, 3 playoff appearances in this last decade. Haven't done anything since 2011. Ben is fat and out of shape. I mean, it's a complete and total meltdown. So I'm liking what I'm seeing around the league. We certainly did not expect the Patriots to lose to the Dolphins, right? That started off a domino of great events for us the other day.
I feel like Stevie Nicks in here with these lights, man. They're all wrapped up around me. I'm glowing purple. It's kind of, it's unique. It's different. It's fun. Am I being too presumptive in going down to Miami next week? Am I the jinx, nope. Dennis Koulatsos? I mean, you got to prepare to succeed, right?
We don't believe. Well, see, the thing is, Nolan Ryan said that the superstitions are for weak minds. We're not weak-minded people. We don't believe in black cats and ladders. We believe in having a great work ethic and great DNA, and the best quarterback in the league, and the defense that's under the radar, right? It was nice to see guys like Anthony Everett rise up. Chuck Clark, I believe, had 9 tackles. I think that's the other storyline that the national media is missing, Nestor, is how good this defense is. Marcus Peters getting paid, right? Big money. You gotta the morale's got to be real good, right? They're valuing their players, or they're paying their players.
Well, the thing about Marcus Peters, it says that they love him, right? Like they love that he trash talks. They love that he fires everybody else up. They love that he plays pissed off because he's always pissed off. You know what I mean? Like they love that. And for them to test drive, like I met my wife, let's see, I met her February 8th and I proposed, I believe it was April 6th. So you know what I mean? Like to have an 8-week courtship and to get married, that's like that doesn't always happen in the NFL for them, and especially for it to happen within the framework of the season, right? Like from Halloween until Christmas, literally, they went from not knowing him to marrying him. That's, that says something. It probably says they scouted the hell out of him when he came out of college, too.
Yeah, they wanted him. He was definitely high on my draft board, and I think had he gotten by the Chiefs, there was a good chance to believe the Ravens were picking right around 27th that year. He went 18th to the Chiefs, and look, wonderful player. He's a difference maker. He's a ball hawk. He's a different kind of a cat, right? But like Terrell Suggs said, he found out the hard way in Arizona that he just doesn't fit everywhere. And I think that Marcus Peters is the same kind of a player in that regard, that his personality is not accepted everywhere, but certainly it is in Baltimore. He fits what they do. And him and the Marlon Humphrey, you're talking about 2 young corners that are going to be locked up as Baltimore Ravens for a very long time.
Dennis Koulatsos joining us here. He'll be here on Thursday, the Dennis Koulatsos Show. You can follow him out on Twitter. He's been incredibly active as well as festive on Raven home game days as we sit around this weekend with our feet up. You'll be selling cars out of Coons Ford Security Boulevard, I'm sure, all weekend long, and getting ready for this thing here. The notion of Ravens as Super Bowl champs, a little bigger picture at what's at stake here as we enter 2020. Den, to step into my Baltimore Positive office, if you don't mind. Don Moeller and I are going to be with TJ Smith at Fadley's later on this week. Martin O'Malley next week. We got all sorts of guests talking about making Baltimore better. What does this mean? I mean, in the bigger picture of Lamar and success and the spotlight that's about to come onto our city the next couple of weekends. We're going to play a Saturday night game, right? With Lamar, with the best player with Michael Jordan, right? Then if we win that game, which we expect to beat the Bills, Titans, whoever Houston, whoever comes in here, right?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful, Nestor. I mean, look, it's great for the community, right? It's great for civic pride. It's great for the businesses, right? It's great for the economy. It's plus when the football team, and hopefully at some point the baseball team does well, but when the football team is rocking, it really does unite the community, right? Everybody feels better, and anybody who's wearing a hat or a scarf or a jacket that says Ravens, we already have some commonality with that person, right? We automatically like them. How about our Ravens, right?
Hey, did I tell you my Tokyo story? Did I tell you my Tokyo? Okay, so I'm at the Tokyo airport, and I was wearing a Raven shirt, just because it was soft and I was going to fly 14 hours. And I'm like getting a little bento box or something. I'm at the airport. I'm getting some food. And a guy sees me, and he's wearing a Bears hat. And he's like, Ravens, Lamar Jackson, man, yeah, And I'm like, I'm in a Tokyo airport, right? And I'm just wearing a Raven bird. And, man, best team in football, Lamar. And I said, yeah, man, it's good. This is fun. I mean, we're hoping things are cool. And, I'm all purpled up and all that stuff. And he says, come a long way since Kyle Bowler, man. And I'm like, man, you got to take a shot at Kyle like that. I mean, that ain't right,
No, I got you. Yeah, we have come a long way since Kyle Bowler, haven't we? And, this is even Joe Flacco, right? The question.
Yeah, where's Joe Flacco this week, right? Like, I mean,
the question about Joe is, and it's respectful, that the question around the league was, even in Baltimore, was he elite? And you got a 22-year quarterback who is elite already, right? And this is different grounds, different territory that we haven't been here in many different areas. For the last 24, 25 years, Nestor. We're the Browns just fired their head coach. The Bengals have a second-year coach who seems to be a mess. Mike Tomlin's got some issues up in Pittsburgh, right? So the division seems to be there for the taking, even in 2020 as we look forward, right? So They have a draft coming up. They've got cap money for the first time in a long time, and this team should be very good, not just this year, but for the next few years to come. Injuries not aside.
So what you're saying is I won't have to break my purple lights out; they'll just be out, right? I'll string them up in here, and we'll make it all happen.
Look, they were the Ravens. They were upset that they were getting no respect as defending division champs. They were picked to finish second or third, even behind the Steelers and the Browns. And all of a sudden, look at them now. The narrative has certainly changed.
It has, and thankfully it has for us as well. We'll see you next year, right, on Thursday. Dennis Koulatsos will be here from 3 until 5, getting 2020 off to a great start at Coons Ford of Security Boulevard. Rest up, man. There's a lot of wings to be eaten here this weekend in anticipation.
You got it, my friend. Be well. Thanks for the time.
You got it. Dennis Koulatsos joining us here. Find him 3 to 5 here on Thursday, the Dennis Koulatsos Show, as well as out on Twitter. You can find me here. My purple rope lights, I swear to you, I am like Clark Griswold, man. I'm like all tangled up with my cords already. I'm glowing. I hope I don't catch on fire. If I do, I hope the Ravens win the Super Bowl after I'm gone. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram. Even when my video camera is broken, we figure out ways to make it interesting around here. Lots of Ravens alums all week long. Baltimore Positive ahead. We'll be down at Fadley's with TJ Smith on Friday talking about making Baltimore better, not just on the field, off the field, and out in the community. I'm Nestor. We're WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.